Hello, good afternoon again, and let's do business now. The Executive Director of the Institute of Fiscal Studies, Professor Newman Kwesi, expects the 2016 budget to come out with deliberate policies that will favor local manufacturing companies, which will make them competitive in both domestic and global markets. He explained that the unbridled trade liberalization has contributed to the over-dependence of the economy on imports.
To Professor Newman Kwesi, inflation remained higher, averaging 17.3%, cedi depreciating by over 20%. Higher cost of credit, rising cost of transportation are some of the characteristics of 2015. He said government should work on modernizing and diversifying agriculture and link it to manufacturing.
Strategy that will lessen the dependence of gold, cocoa and oil, and the only way we can do that is to try to support the manufacturing sector in order for us to be able to expand or increase the range of our export commodities.
Professor Kwesi said the 2016 budget should spell out the strategy government will adopt to rope in more businesses from the informal sector to increase revenue mobilization. He called on the government to tackle the public debt level, which stood at 94.5 billion cedis in June, representing 17.9% of GDP, to boost investor confidence. According to the IFS Executive Director, government needs to reprioritize expenditure. He indicated government needs policies that will center around private sector for economic growth and transformation.
There cannot be economic transformation when the public sector, dominates all the economic activities in the country, and the private sector is related to background. So all the things that government needs to do to support the private sector, for instance, the complaint of access to credit, high cost of credit. We talk about the problems that we're experiencing with our power outages.
A senior lecturer at the Economics Department of the University of Ghana, Dr. Eric Osei Asibi, expects the 2016 budget to deal with the supply side of the economy.
There appears to be too much emphasis on the demand-driven factors, with very little being done at the supply side. The supply rigidities in our economy now, the manufacturing sector is not doing well. The agricultural sector today is recording 0% growth and negative growth.
He urged government to adhere to the 0% spending rule in order not to throw the 2016 budget out of gear. The experts called for a budget that will implement policies to check corruption.
In other business stories, the Africa Center for Energy Policy has expressed fear that Power Barge cannot work effectively if the Tema Oil Refinery is not revived. Energy analyst Dr. Ishmael Aka is of the view that sourcing heavy crude by way of imports is not sustainable, but sources from Car Power say the company would fuel the barges.
ASAP is one of the energy think tanks which criticized the 2015 budget statement for not giving a clear indication of the end of the power crisis. A few days to the 2016 budget, ASAP says government will have to provide a clear plan on fueling the power sector. Energy economists for ASAP, Dr. Ishmael Aka, wants to see the reverse flow deficit in place by the first quarter of 2016. Fueling the power barge is also critical.
The government making provisions for a special fuel for the barges that are coming, because they are going to use heavy crude oil. When you're using a natural gas to power a thermal plant, it costs about 9 cents per kilowatt hour. When you're using heavy fuel, it costs around 17 to 20 cents per kilowatt hour. Who is going to bear the difference?
He projects the coming of the barge by close of November will not change the dynamics of the current power crisis.
We estimate that it will take about 4 weeks for the power barges to even become operational when they come. And the first one are coming. We have to put some money in an escrow account. We don't even know as now whether we've done that. If we've not done that, we cannot use the power barges. And let me just give you a history. In 1995, Ghana had the same challenges. We went to Italy to sign an agreement for the Osagifo barge. In 2001, the barge came to give us about 125 megawatts. As at now, we've not used a megawatt from the barge because we couldn't get fuel. Where are we going to get fuel to power the existing barge? Another thing we're hoping for is that in 2016, TOR will be operational. If TOR is operational, they can get us the heavy fuel that we need to power the barges. But if we don't do anything about TOR, then we have to import. Where is the money coming from?
Information from sources at CARPA indicate the barge will be fueled by the company itself. On infrastructure, ASAP says the country has to do more than 40% infrastructural development to meet its energy needs.